3 days, that's what he gave me. 72 hours to pack up my life and disappear. After 20 years of marriage, 20 years of working double shifts, 20 years of paying every single bill in that house, 20 years of carrying his mama, his sister, his broke dreams, his everything. And this man had the audacity to look me in my face and tell me to leave. Leave my house, that my grandmother's money paid for, that my name is on, that my blood, sweat, and tears built. Chile, but see what Marcus ain't know? I had receipts. Every single one. Bank statements, tax returns, mortgage payments, 20 years of proof that he ain't contribute nothing to this family but stress and audacity. He thought he was putting me out? Nah, baby, let me tell you how a man who gave nothing ended up with exactly that, nothing. Let me take you all back to where it started to fall apart. 2 weeks before he gave me them 3 days, 2 weeks before my whole life changed. Tuesday morning, 5 a.m., alarm going off like it's been going off every day for the past 21 years. Before the sun even think about coming up, Simone already up. That's me, by the way. Simone Marie Washington, 43 years old, senior RN at County Hospital. Been there 21 years. Started when I was 22, fresh out of nursing school, full of hope and dreams and all that good stuff. Now, I'm just full of exhaustion and high blood pressure medication. So I get up, knees cracking, back aching, head already pounding before my feet even hit the floor. And the first thing I do? Same thing I do every morning. I go downstairs and start cooking breakfast. Not for me. Oh no, I ain't got time to eat. Breakfast for Marcus. Breakfast for Mother Washington. That's his mama, who's been living with us temporarily for 8 years now. Breakfast for my babies, Jordan and Maya, even though Jordan 18 now and Maya 16, and they both old enough to pour their own cereal. But that's what mamas do, right? That's what good wives do. That's what I've been told my whole life. Take care of everybody. Put yourself last. Be strong. Be selfless. Be everything to everyone. So that's what I did. And where was Marcus during all this? Sleep. That man was sleep in that California king bed that I paid for, under them expensive sheets that I bought, in the master bedroom of the house that my inheritance put the down payment on. Sleep. 'Cause Marcus ain't have to get up early. Marcus ain't have a job to go to. Not a real one, anyway. See, my husband, he's a business consultant. You know what that means? That means he ain't got no business, and he damn sure ain't consulting nobody. What he got is an MBA that I paid for, 3 failed businesses that I funded, and a whole lot of audacity that came free of charge. But we'll get to all that. So I'm in the kitchen. It's 5:30 now. Got bacon frying, eggs scrambling, coffee brewing. I'm moving around that kitchen like I'm on the floor at the hospital. Efficient, fast, no wasted movement. 'Cause I got a 12-hour shift today, and I got to be out this house by 6:15 to make it on time. Then I hear it. Simone? Simone, is that coffee ready yet? And I hope you ain't make it weak like yesterday. I keep telling you, I like my coffee strong. That's Mother Washington. Every morning. Don't matter that I'm the one buying the coffee. Don't matter that I'm the one paying the light bill so she can have electricity to even heat that coffee. Don't matter that she ain't paid a dime of rent in 8 years. No, ma'am. What matters is that coffee better be strong, and breakfast better be ready, and Simone better not have no attitude about it. Yes, ma'am, coffee's almost ready. I ain't even look up, just kept cooking. 'Cause if I looked up, I might say something, and if I said something, there'd be a whole thing, and Marcus would get involved. And he'd take her side, like he always do, and I'd end up apologizing for something I ain't even do wrong. So I just kept my head down, like always. Let me break down for y'all what my life looked like, what it had looked like for 20 years. I paid the mortgage, $2,400 a month. Every month. My account, auto pay. I paid the utilities, electric, gas, water, internet, cable, all of it. Probably another $500 a month. I paid for groceries. And listen, this ain't just groceries for 4 people. This is groceries for Mother Washington, who got a special diet and need all these expensive foods. This is groceries for Tasha, that's Marcus's sister, and her 2 kids who stop by for dinner at least 3 times a week. I paid the car notes, both cars. Yeah, Marcus drive a BMW, honey, a 2022 BMW X5. You know whose name that loan is in? Mine. You know whose credit got that loan approved? Mine. 'Cause Marcus' credit score ain't been above 500 since 2015. I paid for health insurance, dental, vision, life insurance. I paid for Jordan's college fund. Been putting away $300 a month since that boy was born. I paid tithes at church, 10% every paycheck, 'cause that's what good Christian women do, right? Even when they so tired they can barely stand during praise and worship. And on top of all that, I paid Mother Washington's medications, $400 a month, supposed to be covered by Medicare, but she got gaps, and guess who filled them gaps? Me. I paid for every single one of Marcus's business ventures. The first one, some kind of import-export thing, that was $30,000, gone in 8 months. The second one, a marketing agency, $45,000, gone in a year. The third one, I don't even remember what it was supposed to be, $25,000. All of it, my money, my savings, my extra shifts, my exhaustion made into dollars and handed to a man who ain't never made nothing work. And you know what I got in return? Simone, why the house ain't clean? Simone, what's for dinner? Simone, why you always tired? You act like you the only one who work. I was killing myself, literally. My blood pressure was through the roof. Doctor had me on 2 different medications, said I was pre-diabetic, said I needed to reduce stress. Reduce stress. How, Dr. Williams? How I'm supposed to reduce stress when I'm the only thing holding this family together, when everybody depending on me, when I'm the mule carrying everybody else's weight? But I didn't say that. I just smiled, took my prescription, said I'd try to do better. 'Cause that's what strong Black women do. We don't complain, we don't break down, we just keep going. Until we can't. The week before everything fell apart, I started noticing things. Little things. Things I probably should have noticed before, but I was so tired, so focused on just getting through each day that I ain't pay attention. Marcus was on his phone a lot more than usual, and every time I walked in the room, he'd flip it over or put it away. Now, I ain't never been the type to go through my husband's phone. 20 years, I ain't never done that. I trusted him. Lord, I trusted him. Then there was the way he was dressing. Marcus always been a man who cared about his appearance. That's one thing I can't take from him. But lately, he was doing extra. New cologne, getting his hair cut every week instead of every 2 weeks, going to the gym every single day. I'm trying to get healthy, Simone. You should try it sometime. That's what he said when I asked about it. Threw that little jab in there, too, because I had gained about 30 pounds over the last few years. Stress eating. Late-night snacks after 12-hour shifts because I was too tired to cook a real meal for myself. But I just let it go because I was too tired to fight. That Wednesday night, I had just got home from work, 12 hours on my feet. Lost a patient. Elderly woman, reminded me of my grandmother. I was exhausted in my body and my spirit. I ain't even had time to sit down before my phone rang. Tasha. See, when Tasha call, it only mean one thing. She need money. Hey, Simone, how you doing, girl? All cheerful, like we best friends, like she ain't owe me $8,000 already. I'm fine, Tasha. What you need? No point in small talk. We both know why she calling. Well, see, I'm in a little situation. Rent due on Friday, and I'm short. I just need like $800. I'll pay you back when I get my tax return. $800 on top of the $8,000 she already owe. Tax return she'd been promising for 3 years now. Tasha, I can't keep doing this. I got my own bills. Simone, please, it's for the kids. You want your niece and nephew to be homeless, out on the street? And there it is, the guilt trip, the manipulation, 'cause she know I love them kids. She know I can't stand the thought of them struggling. Tasha, Then I hear Marcus in the background. He must have been listening on the other line. Simone, that's my sister. Help her out. It's family. Family. Funny how family only go one way. Funny how I've been helping his family for 20 years, but when my mama needed help with her property taxes last year, Marcus said we couldn't afford it. But I ain't have the energy to fight, so I transferred the money. $800. Gone. And Tasha ain't even say thank you, just, I'll pay you back. Sure, Tasha, sure you will. Thursday, I'm at work, middle of my shift, and suddenly I feel it. Dizziness, like the room is spinning. I grab onto the nurse's station to steady myself. My coworker, Patricia, she noticed. Simone? Girl, you okay? You look pale. I'm fine, just need water. But Patricia ain't buying it. She been a nurse long as me. She know what she's seeing. Sit down. Let me check your pressure. I tried to protest, but she wasn't having it. She wrapped that cuff around my arm, and we both watched those numbers climb. 160 over 95. For those who don't know, that's high. Dangerous high. Stroke high. Heart attack high. Patricia looked at me with them serious eyes. Simone, you need to go to the ER. Right now. I can't leave. We short-staffed. Girl, you about to be more short-staffed if you drop dead on this floor. Go. But I didn't go. I sat down for a few minutes, drank some water, took some deep breaths, and I got back to work. 'Cause that's what I do. That's what I always do. That night, though, that night was different. I was laying in bed. Marcus wasn't home, said he had a networking event. Mother Washington was asleep down the hall, kids in their rooms, house was quiet. And I felt this pain in my chest. Not sharp, more like pressure, like something heavy sitting on me. I grabbed my phone, Googled signs of a heart attack in women, and I read through that list. Chest pressure, check. Fatigue, check. Shortness of breath, check. Nausea, check. I laid there in that bed, in that dark room, alone, wondering if I was about to die. And you know what scared me most? It wasn't dying. It was dying like this. Exhausted, unappreciated, forgotten, having given everything I had to people who ain't never gave nothing back. I thought about my kids. Who would take care of them? Not Marcus. He can't even take care of himself. I thought about my mama, how heartbroken she'd be. She always told me I was doing too much. She always told me Marcus wasn't worth it. I ain't listen. I thought about me, about Simone, the girl who had dreams once, who wanted to travel, who wanted to write, who wanted to do something just for herself. Where did she go? I cried that night, first time in years. Silent tears soaking my pillow while my husband was out God knows where doing God knows what. And I made myself a promise. Something had to change. I just ain't know the change was coming faster than I thought. The following Tuesday, the day that started everything. I came home early from work. They sent me home, actually. Said my blood pressure was still too high. Said I needed rest. Rest. Like I know what that is. When I pulled up to the house, Marcus's car wasn't there, which was unusual for 2 p.m. Usually he home working on his business, which really means watching TV and scrolling on his phone. I went inside. House was quiet. Mother Washington was at her doctor's appointment. One of her church friends took her for once. Miracle of miracles. I decided to pay some bills, sat down at the kitchen table with my laptop, opened up the bank account, and my heart stopped. Balance, $347.52. That ain't right. That can't be right. I got paid Friday. Direct deposit, $3,200 after taxes. Plus, I had about $1,600 already in there from before. Should be close to $5,000 in this account. Where did $4,500 go? I clicked on transaction history, and I started scrolling. ATM withdrawal, $500. ATM withdrawal, $1,000. ATM withdrawal, $800. ATM withdrawal, $500. Transfer to external account, $1,500. All in the past week. All from Marcus. 'Cause his card was connected to this account. My account. That my paycheck goes into. That pays for everything in this house. My hands was shaking. I could feel my blood pressure rising, that familiar pounding in my temples. I wanted to call him, wanted to scream, but something told me to wait. Something told me to look deeper. I went to the filing cabinet, started pulling out statements, credit card bills, and that's when I saw it. Charges on our joint credit card, the one that's in my name that he has a card for. Ritz-Carlton Hotel, $450. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, $280. Cartier, $2,300. Nordstrom, $890. I ain't stayed at no Ritz-Carlton. I ain't been to Ruth's Chris. I damn sure ain't bought nothing from Cartier. I can't even afford Cartier. But somebody did. Somebody with access to my credit. Then, on the kitchen counter, I saw an envelope, already opened, had a law firm's return address. I picked it up, pulled out the papers inside, and y'all, my whole world collapsed. It was a lease agreement. Luxury apartment downtown, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $3,500 a month. Tenant names, Marcus Washington and Chanel Brooks. Move-in date, the following Friday. I read that name over and over again. Chanel Brooks. Who the hell is Chanel Brooks? And why is my husband signing a lease with her? I sat down at that kitchen table, papers spread out in front of me, bank statements, credit card bills, that lease agreement. 20 years of marriage, 20 years of sacrifice, 20 years of being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who kept everything together. And this man was leaving me. No, worse than that. He was leaving me and taking everything I built. Or at least, that's what he thought. That's when I heard the front door open. Marcus's voice. "Simone, why you home early? And why your car in my spot?" His spot. His spot. In the driveway of my house. I looked up at him, standing there in his gym clothes, smelling like cologne he ain't leave the house wearing. And for the first time in 20 years, I didn't ask questions. I didn't cry. I didn't beg for explanations. I just looked at him and said, "Sit down, Marcus. We need to talk." Marcus looked at me like I had lost my mind. "Sit down? Simone, I just walked in the door. I'm tired. Whatever this is, it can wait." Tired. This man said he was tired. "No, Marcus, it can't wait. Sit down." Something in my voice must have caught him off guard, 'cause for once he actually listened, pulled out the chair across from me and sat down. Still got that annoyed look on his face, though, like I was inconveniencing him. "What's this about? And why all these papers everywhere?" I slid the bank statement across the table. "Where's the money, Marcus?" He looked at it. I watched his face, watched him trying to figure out what to say. "What money?" "The $4,500 that was in this account a week ago, the money from my paycheck. Where is it?" He leaned back, crossed his arms, got that look he always get when he 'bout to lie. "I needed it for a business investment. There's this opportunity." "What business, Marcus?" "It's a new venture. I ain't want to tell you until it was finalized." "What business?" I ain't never raised my voice at this man, not in 20 years. But something in me snapped. I was tired of the lies, tired of the excuses, tired of being played for a fool. Marcus's eyes got wide. Then they got hard. "Don't raise your voice at me, Simone. I'm still the man of this house." "The man of this house?" Marcus, what exactly do you contribute to this house? What bill you pay? What grocery you buy? What anything do you do except spend my money and sleep in my bed? Your bed? This is our house, our money. We're married. No, baby, this is my house, my money. You just been living off it. That's when I slid the credit card statement across the table. Ruth's Chris, the Ritz-Carlton, Cartier. I watched his face change. Who you taking to these places, Marcus? 'Cause it damn sure ain't me. I can't remember the last time you took me anywhere. He was scrambling now. I could see it. That smooth, charming Marcus who could talk his way out of anything. He was searching for the words. Simone, it's not what you think. Then what is it, Marcus? Explain it to me. I'm listening. Those charges, they're for business. Client dinners, client entertainment. You gotta spend money to make money. Cartier is client entertainment? $2,000 at a jewelry store? It was a gift for a potential investor. The lies just kept coming, flowing out of him like water. And you know what? If this was a year ago, I might have believed him. I might have wanted to believe him so bad that I would have accepted whatever story he told. But not today. I pulled out the lease agreement, slid it across the table slow, let it sit there between us. Marcus looked down, and for the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. Where'd you get that? It was on the kitchen counter, in plain sight, almost like you wanted me to find it. He ain't say nothin', just stared at that paper. Who's Chanel Brooks, Marcus? Silence. I asked you a question. Who is Chanel Brooks? He finally looked up at me, and I swear it was like looking at a stranger. This man I had slept next to for 20 years. This man I had sacrificed everything for. I ain't even recognize him. She's a business partner. A business partner you signing leases with? A business partner you moving into a $3,500 a month apartment with? It's complicated. Uncomplicate it, Marcus, right now. He stood up, started pacing, running his hand over his head like he always do when he's stressed. You know what, Simone? Fine. Fine. You want to know the truth? Here's the truth. He turned to face me. I'm done. I've been done. This marriage ain't been working for years, and you know it. I knew it. Deep down, I knew it. But hearing him say it out loud... So Chanel, she's what? Your girlfriend? She's someone who appreciates me, someone who sees my potential, someone who don't nag me every day about money and bills, and someone you've been cheating on me with. For how long, Marcus? How long? He ain't answer, which was answer enough. And that apartment? That's where you was gonna go? Just leave me and the kids? The kids are grown. Jordan's 18. Maya's almost grown. They'll be fine. They'll be fine? That's all you got to say about your children? Simone, I'm not doing this with you. I made my decision. I'm leaving. And here's where it gets good, y'all. Here's where Marcus showed his whole entire ass. He straightened up, put his shoulders back, got that arrogant look on his face. Actually, no, I ain't leaving. You leaving. Excuse me? You heard me. I want you out. You got 3 days to pack your shit and go. I could not believe what I was hearing. You want me to leave? Marcus, this is my house. It's our house, and I'm the man. I'm staying. You can go stay with your mama or one of your little friends. I don't care. The deed is in my name. So what? We married. What's yours is mine. That's how marriage works. This man. The down payment came from my inheritance. My grandmother left me that money. And you used it to buy a house for your family. That makes it a marital asset. He said it so confident, like he had been researching, like he had planned this. Marcus, you ain't paid one mortgage payment in 20 years. I contributed in other ways. What other ways? What have you contributed? Tell me. I'll wait. I'm the head of this household. You're the head of what? You don't work. You don't clean, you don't cook, you don't do nothing but spend my money and apparently screw other women. He got in my face then, close, trying to intimidate me like he used to when we argued. You got 3 days, Simone. I suggest you start packing. Chanel moves in Friday. Chanel moves in Friday. Into my house that my grandmother's money paid for. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something. I wanted to put my hands on this man in a way that would not be Christ-like. But I didn't, because something else was happening inside me, something that surprised even me. I wasn't just angry anymore. I was clear. Before I could respond, I heard footsteps on the stairs. What's all this yelling? Some of us trying to rest. Mother Washington, of course. She came into the kitchen in her housecoat, looked at me, looked at the papers on the table, looked at Marcus. Simone, why you always starting drama? Every time I turn around, you picking fights with my son. I stared at her. 20 years. 20 years I had taken care of this woman, paid her bills, bought her medicine, drove her to appointments, cooked her meals, cleaned up after her. And she was going to stand here and take his side? Mother Washington, your son has been cheating on me. He's been stealing money from our account, and now he's trying to put me out of my own house. She looked at Marcus, then back at me. Well, every marriage has problems. Maybe if you was a better wife, he wouldn't have to look elsewhere. Y'all. I cannot describe to you what them words did to me. This woman that I had cared for like she was my own mama. This woman who I had sacrificed vacation days for, doctor visits for, years of my life for. And she fixed her mouth to tell me I wasn't a good enough wife. Marcus just stood there, smirking. See, Simone, even Mama knows you brought this on yourself. Mama, go back to bed. I'm handling this. Mother Washington nodded, started toward the stairs, then turned back. Simone, maybe this is God's way of telling you something. You should pray about it. Ask for forgiveness. My forgiveness? I looked at her. Really looked at her. You might want to start packing too, Mother Washington. Her face changed. Excuse me? If I leave this house, I stop paying for it. I stop paying the bills. I stop paying your medications. Marcus can't afford to take care of himself, let alone you. So if he putting me out, you might want to find somewhere else to stay. She looked at Marcus. He ain't say nothing. Marcus? Marcus! Tell her that ain't true. Tell her you gonna take care of me. More silence. Mother Washington's face went pale. First time I ever seen that woman speechless. Go back to bed, Mama. She went, slowly, looking back at us the whole way. It was just me and Marcus again. 3 days, Simone. I mean it. I want you gone by Friday. I sat there, quiet, processing. 3 days, 72 hours, to pack up 20 years of my life, leave my home, my children, everything I'd built. And if I don't leave, then I'll call the police, have you removed. From my own house that's in my name? We'll let the courts figure out whose name it's really in. But until then, I want you gone. It'll be easier for everyone. Easier. He said easier. What about Jordan and Maya? What about them? They're almost grown. They can stay with me and Chanel, or they can go with you. Their choice. He really had this all planned out. The apartment, the timeline, everything. Except he ain't planned for one thing. He ain't planned for me to fight back. Marcus grabbed his keys. I'm going out. When I come back tomorrow, I expect to see boxes. We can be adults about this, Simone. Don't make it ugly. And he left. Just like that. Off to see Chanel, probably. Off to tell her everything was going according to plan. I sat at that kitchen table for a long time after he left. The house was quiet. Just the hum of the refrigerator. That refrigerator I paid for. In that kitchen I paid for. In that house that I paid for. 20 years. I gave that man 20 years of my life. My youth, my energy, my money, my everything. And he was going to throw me away like I was nothing. But here's the thing about being at rock bottom. You got nowhere to go but up. I picked up my phone, opened the group chat, the one with my girls. Rochelle, Jasmine, Monique, my sister circle. My fingers was shaking as I typed, I need y'all. Tomorrow morning, Rochelle's salon, 7 a.m. It's an emergency. Within seconds, the responses came. Rochelle, say less. I'll open early. Jasmine, I'll be there. What's wrong? Monique, on my way. Don't do nothing crazy until I get there. My girls. Through everything, I had my girls. I ain't sleep that night. I was up gathering papers, bank statements, credit card bills, the deed to the house, tax returns, everything I could find. 'Cause if Marcus wanted a fight, I was going to give him one. I just ain't know yet that I was about to find out I already won. 7 a.m., Rochelle's salon, back room. The smell of hair products and coffee. My 3 best friends sitting around that folding table looking at me with concern and love and that particular black woman energy that says, we got you, but we also need you to tell us everything, right now. Rochelle spoke first. She always do. All right, Simone, spill. What that fool done now? So I told them. Everything. The bank account, the credit cards, the lease, Chanel Brooks, the 3-day ultimatum. I showed them the papers. Let them pass them around. Let them see the evidence for themselves. When I finished, the room was quiet. Then Jasmine said what we was all thinking. I'm gonna kill him. Jazz, no, I'm serious. I'm gonna kill him. Where he at? 'Cause I got bail money and I know people. Rochelle put her hand on Jasmine's arm. Girl, calm down. We ain't killing nobody today. Why not? Give me one good reason. 'Cause Simone need us thinking clear, not sitting in jail. Monique had been quiet this whole time, just looking through the papers. She's a lawyer, family law specifically. Got divorced herself about 5 years ago. She knows things. Simone? We all turned to her. Simone, whose name is on the deed to your house? Mine. Just yours? Not you and Marcus? Just mine. My grandmother insisted when I used the inheritance money. She said never put a man's name on property you paying for. Monique nodded slowly. Smart woman, your grandmother. Why does that matter? Whose name is on the mortgage? Mine. And who makes the mortgage payments? I do, every month. Auto pay from my personal account. Monique was writing notes now. The cars? Both in my name. I got the loans. Marcus's credit was too bad. And his income? What does he contribute financially? Nothing. Maybe $15,000 over 20 years, if that. Rochelle shook her head. I've been telling you, Simone. I've been telling you. Ro, not now. Monique held up her hand. Wait. Everyone wait. Simone, do you understand what you just told me? What do you mean? You just told me that you own that house, not Marcus, not y'all together, you. I stared at her. But we're married. Ain't everything supposed to be split 50-50? That's not how it works, not in Georgia. Listen to me carefully. Monique spread the papers out on the table. In Georgia, we have equitable distribution. That means marital property gets divided fairly, not necessarily equally, in a divorce. But she pointed to the deed. Property purchased with inheritance money, that's called separate property. It belongs to whoever inherited it. And if that person keeps it in their name only and pays for it with their own money, she looked at me, Simone, that house is yours. Legally, exclusively, 100% yours. But Marcus said, Marcus don't know what he talking about. He can say whatever he wants. The law says different. Rochelle started laughing. Oh my God. Oh my God. You telling me this man been living in her house, spending her money, and he don't own nothing? Not a damn thing. Let me ask you something else, Simone. These credit cards with the charges, whose name are they in? Mine. But Marcus has cards on the account. Cards that you authorized. On accounts in your name. That you pay. Yes. And the cars? My name. And he drives. The BMW. The X5. Jasmine's jaw dropped. Hold up. That bougie car he be showing off at church? That's your car? Technically, yes. Monique sat back, folded her arms, smiled. Simone, baby, sweetheart, do you understand what I'm telling you? I was starting to, the realization washing over me like warm water. Marcus doesn't own anything. Not a single thing. The house is yours, the cars are yours, the furniture. I'm guessing you bought most of it on credit cards in your name. All of it. Then it's yours too. This man gave you 3 days to leave, but legally, he's the one with nothing. He's been living in your house, driving your car, spending your money. And he got the audacity to put you out? Rochelle was on her feet now. So what you saying, Mo? Simone can put him out? I'm saying Simone can change the locks today if she wants to. It's her property. He has no legal right to it. The room was buzzing now. My girls was activated. Wait, Jasmine, the organized one, was pulling out her phone. We need a plan, a real plan, not just emotion. Monique nodded. She's right. Here's what we're going to do. She started writing on a napkin. First, Simone, you're going to separate your finances today. Open a new account at a different bank. Move your direct deposit. Get your money away from him. He's going to notice. Good. Let him notice. What's he going to do? He can't access an account that don't have his name on it. Second, I'm filing divorce papers tomorrow morning. Emergency motion. We're going to document everything. The withdrawals, the credit card charges, all of it. That's theft, Simone. Marital misconduct. Third, we're getting a restraining order. Financial abuse is still abuse. Plus, the way you described him getting in your face, that's intimidation. Rochelle raised her hand. What about Mother Washington? Please tell me we can kick her out, too. She's not on the deed. She's not on the lease. She's a guest in Simone's home. Simone can ask her to leave at any time. Ha! Rochelle clapped her hands. Lord, thank you for this day. What about the kids, I asked. Jordan and Maya. They're your children. They can stay with you. Jordan's 18, so he can decide for himself. Maya's a minor, so she goes where you go. And given Marcus's financial situation and proven adultery, no judge is giving him custody of anyone. Jasmine was typing furiously on her phone. Okay, I'm making a list of everything we need to document. Simone, you got bank statements going back how far? I got everything. 20 years of files at my mama's house. She keeps everything for me. Perfect. We need to show a pattern. Every deposit you made, every bill you paid, every mortgage payment. We're going to build a case so tight, Marcus won't be able to breathe. What about him and Chanel? Does that matter? Monique nodded. Adultery matters in Georgia. It's grounds for divorce, and it affects alimony. Speaking of which, Simone, you might actually be entitled to sue him for alimony, given the income disparity. Rochelle almost choked on her coffee. Wait, he might have to pay her after all this? Potentially. He was financially dependent on her. He's been out of the workforce. He has no real income. A judge could order him to get a job and pay her support. The irony wasn't lost on any of us. So let me get this straight. I was trying to wrap my head around it all. This man gave me 3 days to leave, but really, I could give him 3 days to leave, and he'd have to go. Basically, yes. And everything he thought he was getting, the house, the cars, the life, none of it was ever his. None of it. He's going to have nothing. Monique reached across the table and took my hand. Simone, listen to me. I know this is a lot. I know you're still processing. But I need you to hear this clearly. She looked me dead in my eyes. You are not the victim here. You are the one with the power. You've had the power this whole time. You just didn't know it. 20 years. 20 years of feeling small, feeling trapped, feeling like I had no options. And the whole time, I was the one holding all the cards. I just didn't know how to play them. Rochelle came around the table and hugged me, tight. Simone Marie Washington, I've been your best friend for 25 years. I've been watching you give yourself away piece by piece to that man and his family. I've been biting my tongue so hard, it's a miracle it's still attached." She pulled back and looked at me. "But today is different. Today, you got choices. And whatever you choose, we got your back. All of us." Jasmine nodded. "Whatever you need. Time off work to handle this? I'll cover your shifts. Monique, legal fees? Don't worry about it. This one's on me. Pro bono." Rochelle, "And when it's all done, when that man is out of your house and out of your life, we celebratin'. My treat." I looked at my girls, my sister circle, the women who had held me together when I was falling apart, the women who showed up at 7 a.m. on a Wednesday because I needed them. "Why y'all always ride so hard for me?" Rochelle smiled. "Girl, that's what we do. That's what sisters do. You've been taking care of everybody else for 20 years. It's time somebody took care of you." "And honestly," Jasmine added, "we've been waiting for you to wake up. We didn't want to push you before you was ready. But now that you're ready," she cracked her knuckles, "let's get to work." We spent the next 2 hours planning, making lists, dividing up tasks. Monique would handle all the legal paperwork, file for divorce, request the restraining order, start documenting Marcus's financial abuse. Jasmine would help me compile evidence, every bank statement, every credit card bill, every receipt. We was building a paper trail that would bury Marcus in court. Rochelle had a special job. "I'ma pray for you, girl, and then I'ma do your hair, 'cause when you walk into that courtroom, you gonna look like the queen you are." As we was wrapping up, my phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. "Started packing yet? Clock's ticking." I stared at that message, felt the old Simone wanting to cry, wanting to beg, wanting to fix it somehow. But she was quiet now. The old Simone was finally quiet. I typed back, "We'll see who's packing, Marcus." Then I blocked his number. You know what's funny about men like Marcus? They spend so much time thinking they smart, thinking they got everything figured out, thinking they playing chess while everybody else playing checkers. But the whole time, they ain't even see the board right. Marcus thought he knew what he was doing, thought he had planned everything perfect, the apartment, the girlfriend, the 3-day ultimatum. What he ain't planned for? 20 years of receipts, every bank statement, every tax return, every mortgage payment, every single dollar I put into that marriage while he put in nothing. I had it all. And baby, I was about to use every single piece of it. Wednesday afternoon. After that meeting at Rochelle's salon, I drove straight to my mama's house. Mama Louise been living in the same little brick house in Decatur for 40 years. Same house I grew up in. Same house that still smelled like lavender and pound cake and safety. She was waiting for me on the porch. 'Cause of course, Rochelle had already called her. My girls don't play when it comes to keeping Mama in the loop. "Baby girl." That's all she said. Just, "baby girl." And she opened her arms. I fell into my mama's embrace like I was 5 years old again. Like I ain't been grown for 20-something years. Like I ain't been the one holding everybody else together. For a moment, I just let her hold me. "Mama, I'm so tired." "I know, baby, I know. Come inside, I made sweet tea." Sweet tea. My mama's solution to everything. Heartbreak? Sweet tea. Job loss? Sweet tea. Husband of 20 years turn out to be a lying, cheating, stealing waste of space? Sweet tea with extra lemon. We sat at her kitchen table. Same table where I did my homework. Same table where I told her I was marrying Marcus. Same table where she tried to warn me, and I ain't listen. "You was right, Mama." She shook her head. "I ain't gonna say I told you so. That don't help nothing. But you did tell me. You told me he wasn't right. You saw it from the beginning." "Simone," she took my hands. "I saw a young man who was charming but lazy, who had big dreams but no work ethic, who wanted the good life but didn't want to build it himself. But I also saw my daughter in love, And sometimes, baby, we gotta learn our own lessons. 20 years is a long lesson, Mama. Yes, it is. But you hear now. You awake now. That's what matters. She got up and went to the hall closet, came back with a big plastic storage bin. I've been keeping these for you. Every year when you bring your tax documents over for me to hold, I kept copies. Every bank statement you ever showed me, filed away. Your grandmother taught me that. Keep records of everything. She set the bin on the table. Whatever you need to bury that man, baby girl, it's in here. Y'all, when I tell you we spread them papers out on Mama's dining room table and it looked like a crime scene investigation, 20 years of financial records. 20 years of evidence. 20 years of proof. Jasmine came over around 4 o'clock. She the organized one, remember? Teacher brain. She brought color-coded folders and sticky notes and highlighters like we was preparing for the SAT. All right, she cracked her knuckles. Let's do this. We started sorting. Bank statements in one pile, credit card bills in another, mortgage documents, car loans, tax returns, everything. And as we went through it all, the picture became crystal clear. Simone, Jasmine looked up from a stack of bank statements. In 2019, how much did Marcus deposit into the joint account? I looked at the highlighted numbers. $800 for the whole year. And you? $62,000. She moved to another year. 2015, Marcus, 0. Me, $58,000. 2010, Marcus, $2,000. Me, $45,000. We kept going, year after year after year. The same pattern. Simone, working, earning, depositing, paying. Marcus, nothing. 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 When we finished adding it all up, Jasmine sat back and let out a long breath. Simone, in 20 years of marriage, you deposited approximately $847,000 into that joint account. And Marcus? She checked her calculator twice, 3 times. $14,600 total over 20 years. $14,000. That's what my husband contributed to our marriage, financially speaking. That's less than $1,000 a year, less than $100 a month, less than the cell phone bill I pay for his ungrateful ass. It gets worse. Jasmine pulled out the credit card statements. Those 3 businesses he started? Let's add up what you spent. First business, the import-export thing, $32,000. Second business, the marketing agency, $47,000. Third business, whatever it was, $28,000. Total, $107,000. Gone. Into businesses that ain't never made a single dollar. And his mama? Jasmine was on a roll now. Her medications, her food, her everything. 8 years at approximately $400 a month just for meds, plus groceries, plus utilities. She did the math. Conservatively, you've spent at least $45,000 supporting Mother Washington. And Tasha? The loans that never get paid back? Jasmine flipped through some notes. Based on what you've told me over the years, I estimate at least $30,000, maybe more. Mama had been quiet this whole time, just listening, taking it all in. So let me understand this correctly. Her voice was calm, too calm. My daughter has contributed nearly $1 million to this family over 20 years. Her husband has contributed $15,000, and he thinks he's entitled to put her out? That's what he said, Mama. And his mother, whom my daughter has housed and fed and medicated for 8 years, she took his side? Called me a bad wife. Mama stood up slow, went to the kitchen. I heard her open a cabinet, pour something. She came back with a glass of something that was not sweet tea. Mama, is that cognac? I need something stronger than tea for this conversation. She took a sip. Lord, give me strength not to drive over there and show that boy what his mama should have taught him. Mama, I'm serious, Simone. That man ain't worth the dirt under your shoes. Never was. And now we got proof. Jasmine started organizing everything into folders, color-coded, labeled, ready for court. This is everything Monique needs. I'll scan copies tonight and email them to her. We're gonna bury him, Simone, legally and financially. I looked at the folders. 20 years of my life reduced to paper and numbers, but also 20 years of evidence. Thank you, Jazz. I don't know what I'd do without... That's when we heard the front door open. Grandma? Mom? Y'all here? Jordan, my baby boy. Well, not a baby anymore. 18 years old, senior in high school, about to graduate and go off to college. But still, my baby. In the dining room, baby. He came in, looked at the papers spread everywhere, looked at me, looked at Jasmine, looked at his grandmother with her glass of cognac. So it's true. Dad really did it. Who told you? Maya texted me, said she heard y'all arguing last night, said Dad told you to leave. He sat down across from me. Mom, are you okay? I'm getting there. Is it true about the other woman? I nodded, couldn't say the words. Jordan's jaw tightened. He looked just like his father when he'd do that, but with his grandfather's eyes. My daddy's eyes. The good man he was named after. I got something to show you. He pulled out his phone, started scrolling. Last month I was downtown with my boys. We was at this restaurant getting food after the basketball game, and I saw Dad. My heart started racing. He was with somebody, a woman, young. I ain't want to believe it, so I started recording, just in case. He turned the phone around, and there it was, video evidence. Marcus, at a nice restaurant, holding hands across the table with a woman who was definitely not me. Young, pretty, probably late 20s. But that wasn't the worst part. Jordan hit play, and the audio, Marcus's voice, clear as day. Once I get rid of Simone, we'll have everything. The house, the cars, everything she's been slaving for. She won't know what hit her. The woman's voice, must be Chanel. And your mama? Marcus. She can stay for now. Someone gotta cook and clean, right? Laughter. Their laughter. Mama set her glass down hard. Play that again. Jordan played it again. Everything she's been slaving for. That's what he said. Slaving. Like I was his worker, his maid, his servant. She won't know what hit her. He really thought he was smart, really thought he had me fooled. Jasmine grabbed the phone. Jordan, I need you to send this to me, right now, and to your Aunt Monique. Already sent it. Good boy, Mama patted his hand. Your grandfather would be proud of you. Jordan looked at me. Mom, I'm sorry I ain't show you sooner. I ain't know what to do. I kept hoping maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't what it looked like. Baby, this is not your fault. None of this is your fault. I know, He took a deep breath. I hate him, Mom. I know that's wrong. I know the Bible says honor your father, but I hate him for what he's done to you. Jordan, no, let me finish. I've been watching this my whole life, watching you work yourself to death while he sat around doing nothing, watching you pay for everything while he took credit, watching you get smaller and smaller while he got bigger. Tears was rolling down his face now. You deserve better, Mom. You always deserved better. I got up and wrapped my arms around my son, this child I raised, this man he was becoming, so different from his father, so much better. I love you, Jordan. I love you too, Mom, and whatever happens next, I'm on your side. Me and Maya both. Thursday morning, time to make moves. First stop, the bank. I walked into First National looking like a woman on a mission, because that's exactly what I was. I need to open a new account, individual, and I need to transfer my direct deposit from my employer to this new account. The banker, sweet older woman named Dorothy, typed away at her computer. And the joint account you currently have? Would you like to close it? No, ma'am. I want to remove my name from it. Leave it in my husband's name only. Are you sure? There's currently, she checked the screen, $312.47 in that account. I'm sure. That $300 is more than he's contributed in years. He can have it. She processed everything. New account, new debit card, direct deposit form for my job. As I was leaving, she called after me. "Mrs. Washington?" "Yes." "I don't know your situation, and it's not my business. But I've been working at this bank for 30 years. I've seen a lot of women sit in that chair and do what you just did." She smiled. "Good for you, honey. Good for you." Second stop, home. My home. I pulled up to the house around noon. Marcus's car was gone. Good. Inside, Mother Washington was watching her stories in the living room. She barely looked up when I came in. "Simone, you still here? I thought Marcus told you." "Mother Washington, I'm going to need you to start looking for alternative living arrangements." Now she looked up. "Excuse me?" "I spoke with my lawyer yesterday. This house is mine. Legally, solely, completely mine. And I've decided I no longer want you living here." "You can't do that," Marcus said. "Marcus doesn't own this house. He never has. The deed is in my name. The mortgage payments come from my account. He has no legal claim to this property, and neither do you." She stood up, got that indignant look on her face. "I am his mother. I have a right. You have a right to nothing. You've lived here rent-free for 8 years. I've paid your medical bills, bought your groceries, driven you to your appointments. And last night, you stood in my kitchen and told me I was a bad wife, after everything I've done for you. I don't want to hear it. You have until Sunday to find somewhere else to stay. I suggest you call one of your other 4 children, the ones who ain't never done nothing for you." Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. This is unchristian. You can't throw an old woman out on the street." "I'm not throwing you on the street. I'm giving you 4 days' notice. That's more than your son gave me." Third move, the locks. I called a locksmith. Nice man named Earl. He came out within the hour. "You want all the locks changed? Front, back, garage?" "All of them. New keys. Today." He looked at me. Probably seen this situation 100 times. Husband trouble? Soon to be ex-husband trouble. Say no more. He changed every lock in that house. Gave me 4 new keys. I gave 1 to Mama, 1 to Jordan, kept 2 for myself. Marcus wouldn't be able to get in. And that's when my phone started blowing up. 27 missed calls, 43 text messages. I ain't blocked his number no more. I wanted him to see I was ignoring him. Text from Marcus. "Why is my key not working?" Text from Marcus. "Simone, answer your phone." Text from Marcus. "You better not have changed my locks." Text from Marcus. "This is my house. You can't do this." Text from Marcus. "I'm calling the police." "Go ahead, Marcus. Call them." And he did. 30 minutes later, a police cruiser pulled up to the house. 2 officers. I met them at the door. "Ma'am, we got a call about a domestic disturbance. A man says he's being locked out of his residence." "Officers, my name is Simone Washington. This is my home. The deed is in my name only. I have it right here if you'd like to see it." I handed them the paperwork. "I'm in the process of divorcing my husband, Marcus Washington. He does not own this property. He has never paid the mortgage. I changed the locks today for my own safety." Marcus was standing at the end of the driveway, arms crossed, looking smug. "Officers, she can't do this. We're married. That's my house." One of the officers, older guy, probably seen this 1,000 times, walked over to him. "Sir, do you have any documentation showing ownership of this property?" "I don't need documentation. I'm her husband." "Sir, marriage doesn't automatically give you ownership of property that's solely in your spouse's name. According to these documents, this home belongs to Mrs. Washington. But I live here. You may have resided here, but you don't own it. If you have a dispute, you'll need to settle it in civil court. But right now, she has every legal right to deny you access to her property." Marcus's face, I wish I had a picture. All that smugness, all that confidence, all that "I'm the man of this house" energy. Gone, just like that. This ain't over, Simone. You hear me? This ain't over. Actually, Marcus, I stood on my porch of my house that my grandmother's money paid for. It's just beginning. Next day, I was at work, trying to focus, trying to be professional, trying to take care of my patients, even though my whole life was falling apart. Around 2 o'clock, my supervisor came to find me. Simone, there's a situation in the parking lot. My stomach dropped. Marcus. I looked out the window. He was down there, pacing, yelling. Security was trying to talk to him. That's my wife. I have a right to see her. Simone, get down here. Hospital security, 2 big guys. They was keeping him back, but he wasn't leaving. Do you want us to call the police, Simone? I thought about it. Part of me wanted to. Part of me wanted to watch him get arrested right there in front of everybody. But I'm tired of scenes, tired of drama, tired of this man taking up space in my life. No, I'll handle it. I went downstairs, walked right up to him, security flanking me on both sides. Marcus, you need to leave. Or what? You gonna have me arrested at your job? If I have to, yes. This is a hospital. There are sick people here. You're disturbing them. I don't give a damn about. I know you don't give a damn. You ain't never gave a damn about nobody but yourself. That's the problem, Marcus. People was watching now. Nurses, doctors, patients' families. You embarrassing yourself right now, coming to my workplace, acting a fool. This ain't gonna change nothing. I just want to talk. You had 20 years to talk. You spent them lying, cheating, stealing. We're done talking. Security stepped forward. Sir, you need to leave the premises, now, or we will call the police. Marcus looked around, finally realized how crazy he looked, finally saw all the people staring. This ain't over, Simone. You keep saying that, but it is over. Accept it. He left, finally, but not before kicking over a trash can like a child throwing a tantrum. That's the man I was married to for 20 years, y'all. A whole grown man kicking trash cans. Lord. That night my phone rang, number I recognized, Tasha. I almost ain't answer, but something told me to pick up. Hello, Tasha. Simone, what the hell is wrong with you? Excuse me? Marcus just called me crying. Said you locked him out the house, froze all the bank accounts, and trying to take everything from him. Tasha, did Marcus tell you why I did those things? He said y'all having problems. Did he tell you he's been cheating on me? Did he tell you he stole almost $5,000 from our account? Did he tell you he was planning to move his 28-year-old girlfriend into my house? Silence. Did he tell you he gave me 3 days to leave before I did any of this? More silence. That's what I thought. Still, Simone, you ain't have to do all this. Y'all could have talked. Tasha, your brother has been living off me for 20 years. Not working, not contributing, taking and taking and taking. And you've been right there with him, asking me for money you never pay back. Now wait. How much you owe me, Tasha? 8,000? 10? That's different. It ain't different. It's the same thing. The Washington family decided a long time ago that Simone was the ATM, the workhorse, the one who takes care of everybody while nobody takes care of her. Simone, I'm done, Tasha, with all of y'all. You want to support your brother? You house him. You feed him. You deal with him. I'm out. You know what, Simone? You changed. Money changed you. I laughed. Actually laughed. Money didn't change me, Tasha. Self-respect changed me. Y'all just mad 'cause you can't use me no more. I hung up. Then I blocked her number, too. Friday morning, Monique came through. A process server showed up at the house. The one Marcus was staying at now. Turned out he'd been staying with one of his boys since I changed the locks. Couldn't go to Chanel's 'cause she lived with roommates. Divorce papers. Delivered. and attached to them, an emergency motion for protective order, documentation of financial abuse, request for exclusive use of marital residence, which was already mine anyway, and the kicker, an eviction notice for Marcus and Mother Washington. Legal, official, court-ordered. They had 72 hours to remove any personal belongings from my property. After that, if they set foot on my land, I could have them arrested for trespassing. My phone buzzed. Text from Jordan. Dad just showed up at Grandma Washington's screaming about papers. She's crying. Aunt Tasha's here too. It's a whole mess. I texted back, "Are you safe?" "I'm at your mama's house with Maya. We're good." I sat on my porch, watching the sunset. 72 hours, that's what I gave them. Same amount of time Marcus gave me. But here's the difference. When he gave me 3 days, he thought he was ending me. When I gave him 3 days, I was just getting started. 'Cause in 72 hours, we was going to court. And Marcus was about to find out what happens when you try to play a woman who got receipts. You ever have a moment where everything you've been through finally makes sense? All the pain, all the struggle, all the nights you cried yourself to sleep wondering if it was ever going to get better. And then one day, you, standing in a place you never thought you'd be, watching everything fall into place like God himself orchestrated it. That was me, standing outside the Fulton County Courthouse, ready to face the man who tried to destroy me, ready to show him and everybody else what happens when you underestimate a woman who got nothing left to lose. Court day, y'all. Let's get into it. 2 weeks after I changed them locks, 2 weeks of Marcus blowing up my phone, showing up at my job, sending his family to harass me. 2 weeks of preparation. Monique had fast-tracked everything. Emergency hearing. Said she called in some favors with the court clerk. "This judge don't play," she told me. Judge Patricia Coleman, black woman, divorced herself about 10 years ago. She's seen every trick in the book. That morning I woke up at 5 a.m. Not 'cause I had to, 'cause I couldn't sleep. I stood in front of my bathroom mirror. My bathroom, in my house. And for the first time in years, I really looked at myself. The bags under my eyes was still there, but something else was different. Something in my eyes, a fire that had been out for a long time. It was back. Rochelle had done my hair the day before, took out the old protective style I'd been wearing for months, 'cause I ain't have time for nothing else. Did a silk press that had my hair flowing down my back like I was in a music video. "Girl, you look like a whole different person." I feel like a whole different person. Good. 'Cause tomorrow you walking into that courtroom like the queen you are, head high, shoulders back. Let that man see what he lost. I put on the outfit I'd picked out special. Navy blue dress, professional, powerful. Pearl earrings my grandmother gave me. The ones I ain't worn since her funeral 'cause they was too precious. Today felt right. Mama was waiting downstairs when I came down. "Oh, baby," her eyes got watery. "You look just like your grandmother." "Thank you, Mama." She'd be so proud of you, Simone, standing up for yourself, taking back what's yours. "I'm scared, Mama." "I know you are, but fear ain't never stopped a Washington woman before, and it ain't gonna stop you today." Pulled up to the courthouse at 8:30 a.m. Hearing was at 9. My sister's circle was already there, all of them. Rochelle in her Sunday best, Jasmine with her folder of organized evidence, Monique in her lawyer suit looking like she was about to end somebody, and Mama standing right in the middle of them, my army. "You ready?" Monique asked. "Ready as I'm gonna be. Remember what we talked about. Stay calm. Answer questions directly. Don't let him or his lawyer bait you into emotion. You got the facts on your side. Let the facts speak. What if? No what ifs. We prepared for everything. Trust the process. Trust me." I nodded. Then I saw him, Marcus, walking up to the courthouse from the other direction. And y'all, the man looked rough. 2 weeks without access to my money had not been kind to Marcus Washington. The designer clothes was gone. He was wearing a suit that looked like he borrowed it from somebody 2 sizes bigger, wrinkled, ill-fitting. His haircut was grown out. That fresh fade he used to get every week, gone, looking scraggly around the edges. And his face, tired, stressed, lost that arrogant shine he always had. Behind him was Mother Washington, walking slow with her cane, looking like she ain't slept in days. And Tasha, arms crossed, attitude on full display. The whole Washington clan, come to watch Marcus try to take what was mine. Our eyes met across the courthouse steps. He tried to mean-mug me, tried to give me that intimidating look that used to make me back down. But I ain't flinch, ain't look away, just stared right back. 'Cause I wasn't scared of him no more. What's he gonna do? Take my house? It's in my name. Take my money? Already moved it. Take my peace? Baby, I got that back the day I changed them locks. Marcus Washington ain't have nothing on me no more, and he was about to find that out. Judge Patricia Coleman's courtroom was smaller than I expected. Wood paneling, American flag, that serious energy that courtrooms have. We sat on opposite sides, me and Monique on the left, Marcus and his lawyer, some public defender who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else, on the right. Behind me, Mama, Rochelle, Jasmine, my support. Behind Marcus, Mother Washington and Tasha, his enablers. Jordan and Maya was there too, sitting in the back. Said they wanted to watch. Said they needed to see this. I tried to tell them they ain't have to come, that it might be hard to hear some things. Jordan just looked at me and said, "Mom, we been living it. Watching it in court ain't gonna be worse than living it for 18 years. Couldn't argue with that. All rise. The Honorable Judge Patricia Coleman presiding. We stood. Judge Coleman walked in. Black woman, early 60s, gray locks pulled back in an elegant updo, reading glasses perched on her nose, face that said, "Don't waste my time." Be seated. We sat. We're here today for an emergency hearing in the matter of Washington versus Washington, petition for divorce, division of assets, and protective order. She looked over her glasses at both tables. I've reviewed the preliminary filings. Mrs. Washington, you're the petitioner? Monique stood. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Monique Turner, representing Simone Washington. And Mr. Washington, you're representing yourself? Marcus's lawyer stood, looking nervous. No, Your Honor. I'm David Chen, public defender, representing Mr. Washington. The judge's eyebrow went up slightly. A man who claimed to own half a $450,000 house needed a public defender? Very well, let's proceed. Ms. Turner, present your case. Monique stood up, confident, prepared. This was her arena. Your Honor, my client Simone Washington is seeking dissolution of her 20-year marriage to Marcus Washington, as well as exclusive rights to the marital residence, vehicles, and other assets. We're also seeking a protective order based on documented financial abuse and harassment. Financial abuse, the judge made a note. Go on. Your Honor, the evidence will show that throughout this 20-year marriage, Mrs. Washington has been the sole financial provider for the household. She has worked as a registered nurse for 21 years, earning and depositing approximately $847,000 into the joint account during the marriage. She paused to let that number sink in. Mr. Washington, during that same period, deposited approximately $14,600 total. Movement from Marcus's side. He was shaking his head. The marital residence, a home valued at approximately $450,000, was purchased using Mrs. Washington's inheritance from her grandmother. The deed is in Mrs. Washington's name only. Every mortgage payment for the past 20 years has come from Mrs. Washington's personal account. Is this true, Mr. Washington? The judge looked at Marcus. His lawyer stood. Your Honor, while Mrs. Washington may have made the financial contributions, my client contributed to the marriage in other ways. We'll get to that, the judge waved him down. Continue, Miss Turner. In the weeks leading up to this filing, Mr. Washington withdrew approximately $4,500 from the joint account without Mrs. Washington's knowledge or consent. This money was used to fund an extramarital affair, including luxury hotels, expensive dinners, jewelry, and a deposit on an apartment Mr. Washington intended to share with his mistress. Gasps from somewhere in the courtroom, probably Rochelle. That woman cannot contain herself. When Mrs. Washington discovered the affair, Mr. Washington did not apologize or seek reconciliation. Instead, he demanded that she leave the marital residence within 3 days, threatening to move his mistress into the home. He did what? The judge's voice was sharp. He gave her 72 hours to vacate her own property, Your Honor, a property he has no legal claim to. Judge Coleman took off her glasses, rubbed her eyes, put them back on. Let me make sure I understand this. Mr. Washington contributed less than $15,000 over 20 years. His wife contributed over $800,000. The house is in her name only, purchased with her inheritance, and he tried to put her out? That's correct, Your Honor. Lord, give me strength. Ms. Turner, what evidence do you have to support these claims? Your Honor, I'd like to submit Exhibits A through M. Jasmine's color-coded folders, 20 years of receipts, all of it. Monique walked the judge through everything. Bank statements showing only Simone's deposits, year after year after year. Credit card bills with charges for Chanel, hotels, jewelry, romantic dinners. The lease agreement, Marcus and Chanel's names, clear as day. Mortgage records, every payment from Simone's account. Car loan documents, both vehicles in Simone's name. Tax returns showing Marcus's income was essentially nothing. Records of the 3 failed businesses, each one funded by Simone, each one collapsed. Mother Washington's medical bills, paid by Simone, 8 years of them. Records of money sent to Tasha, loans that was never repaid. By the time Monique finished, the judge's desk was covered in paper. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence, a video recorded by the Washington's son, Jordan, approximately 1 month before this filing. She pulled out a laptop, connected it to the courtroom's display screen, and there it was, Jordan's video. Marcus at the restaurant with Chanel, holding her hand, smiling, and his voice. Once I get rid of Simone, we'll have everything. The house, the cars, everything she's been slaving for. She won't know what hit her. Chanel's voice. And your mama? Marcus. She can stay for now. Someone got to cook and clean, right? Laughter. Their laughter. The courtroom was silent. I looked at Marcus. He was staring at the screen like he was seeing a ghost. Your Honor, this video clearly demonstrates premeditation. Mr. Washington planned to defraud his wife, to take assets he had no legal right to. He referred to her 20 years of work as slaving. He viewed her as nothing more than a source of income to be exploited. Judge Coleman's face was stone. Mr. Chen, your response? Marcus's lawyer stood up. Poor man looked like he wanted to disappear. Your Honor, my client acknowledges that he made mistakes in the marriage, but he contends that as Mrs. Washington's spouse of 20 years, he's entitled to equitable distribution of marital assets. Equitable distribution of what exactly? The judge cut him off. What assets did Mr. Washington bring to this marriage? What has he contributed? He was present in the home. He helped raise the children. Did he? Judge Coleman looked at her notes. I see here that Mrs. Washington worked 12-hour shifts while also handling all household duties, cooking, cleaning, child care. I see that she took time off work to transport Mr. Washington's mother to medical appointments. Is that accurate? Well, I also see that Mrs. Washington paid for Mr. Washington's MBA program, funded 3 of his business ventures, supported his mother financially for 8 years, and his sister for even longer. She looked directly at Marcus. Mr. Washington, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak. In your own words, tell me what you contributed to this marriage that entitles you to half of your wife's assets. Marcus stood. This was his moment, his chance to defend himself. Your Honor, I was the head of my household. Head of household is not a financial contribution, Mr. Washington. What did you provide? I was there for my family. I was a father. Your own son recorded you planning to take everything from his mother. That doesn't sound like a devoted father to me. That video was taken out of context. What context makes "she won't know what hit her" acceptable, Mr. Washington? Marcus was floundering, sweating, looking around like somebody was going to save him. Nobody was. I had business opportunities, investments that didn't pan out. Business opportunities funded entirely by your wife, who continued to work full-time while you pursued these opportunities, which all failed. Your Honor, with respect, I am entitled. You are entitled to nothing, Mr. Washington. The judge's voice was sharp now, final. You are entitled to nothing that you did not earn, did not pay for, and did not contribute to. And based on everything I've seen today, that's exactly what you contributed to this marriage. Nothing. Your Honor, we'd like to call Jordan Washington to the stand. My baby boy, walking up to that witness stand with his shoulders back and his head high. He was sworn in, took his seat. Jordan, can you describe your parents' marriage as you observed it growing up? Jordan took a deep breath. My mom worked all the time, 12-hour shifts, sometimes more. She'd come home exhausted, and then she'd still cook dinner, clean the house, help us with homework. She never stopped. And your father? My dad was usually home, but he wasn't, doing anything, watching TV, on his phone, going to the gym. He always said he was working on his business, but I never saw him actually work. Did your father contribute to the household in any way? Not that I ever saw. Mom paid for everything. Our school stuff, our clothes, food, everything. When I needed money for a field trip, I asked Mom. When I needed new shoes, I asked Mom. Dad never had money to give us. How did your father treat your mother? Jordan's jaw tightened. He talked down to her, criticized her. Nothing she did was ever good enough. If dinner wasn't ready on time, he complained. If the house wasn't clean enough, he complained. But he never helped, not once. And why did you record the video we saw earlier? Because I needed proof. I saw my dad with that woman at the restaurant, and I knew nobody would believe me without evidence. I needed my mom to see who he really was. Thank you, Jordan. No further questions. Marcus's lawyer stood. No questions, Your Honor. Smart man. What was he going to do, attack an 18-year-old for telling the truth? We'd like to call Maya Washington, my baby girl, 16 years old, honor roll student, brave as hell. Maya, do you have anything to add to your brother's testimony? Yes, ma'am. She looked directly at her father. I used to ask my mom why she let Dad talk to her the way he did, why she stayed. She always said marriage was about commitment, about working through hard times. And what do you think now? I think my mom was too good for him. I think she wasted 20 years on a man who didn't deserve her. And I think, her voice cracked, I think I almost grew up believing that's how marriage was supposed to be, that women work and sacrifice and men just take. Tears were rolling down her face now. But it's not supposed to be like that, and I'm glad my mom finally sees it too. Thank you, Maya. She stepped down, came and sat next to me. I grabbed her hand and held it tight. Your Honor, the respondent would like to call Dolores Washington to the stand, Marcus's mama, here to defend her baby boy. She walked up slow, settled into the witness chair, looking at me with nothing but contempt. Mrs. Washington, the elder Mrs. Washington, how long did you live in your son and daughter-in-law's home? 8 years. And during that time, did you pay rent? No, I'm family. Family don't charge family. Did you pay for groceries, utilities, any household expenses? Simone took care of all that. So your daughter-in-law housed you, fed you, and paid your expenses for 8 years. Is that correct? She did what a wife is supposed to do, take care of the family. I see. And what did your son contribute during those 8 years? Silence. Mrs. Washington? Marcus he was building his future. He had business plans. Business plans that failed, funded by his wife. That's not Mrs. Washington, did you ever thank Simone for taking care of you all those years? More silence. Did you ever acknowledge the sacrifice she made, working double shifts while also caring for you? Mother Washington's face twisted. She was just doing her job. That's what wives do. Her job? Judge Coleman leaned forward. Her job was taking care of patients at the hospital. Everything she did for you was extra, unpaid, unappreciated, apparently. Your Honor, I object. Overruled. I'm asking the questions now. The judge looked at Mother Washington hard. Did you tell your daughter-in-law that she was a bad wife the night she discovered her husband's affair? I was just saying yes or no, Mrs. Washington. Yes. A woman who worked herself to exhaustion for 20 years, who paid every bill, who supported you financially, who did everything for your son's family. And when she discovered she'd been betrayed, you told her she was a bad wife? Mother Washington said nothing. You may step down. The respondent calls Tasha Williams to the stand. Tasha walked up with that attitude she always carried, like she was better than everybody. Ms. Williams, you're Marcus Washington's sister? Yes. And you have a financial relationship with Simone Washington. She's loaned me money over the years. Family helps family. How much would you say she's loaned you? I don't know exactly. Let me help you. Monique stepped forward. Based on records provided by Mrs. Washington, you've borrowed approximately $32,000 over the past 15 years. Does that sound accurate? Tasha's eyes went wide. How much of that have you repaid? Things have been tight. How much, Ms. Williams? Nothing. Nothing. So your sister-in-law gave you $32,000 and you've repaid nothing. I was going to pay her back. Of course you were. Monique turned to the judge. No further questions. Judge Coleman shuffled her papers, took a long breath. I've been on this bench for 15 years. I've seen a lot of divorce cases, a lot of men and women who couldn't make it work, trying to divide what they'd built together. She looked at Marcus. This is not one of those cases. This is a case of a woman who gave everything, her time, her energy, her money, her health, to a man who gave nothing in return, who took and took and took until there was nothing left to take, and then tried to take more. Mr. Washington, you contributed virtually nothing to this marriage financially. You depleted marital assets through theft and misuse. You conducted an extramarital affair. You planned to unlawfully evict your wife from her own property to move in your mistress. You treated your wife not as a partner, but as a resource to be exploited. And when she discovered the truth, you showed no remorse, only entitlement. She picked up her gavel. Here is my ruling. The marital residence at 4523 Maple Drive is awarded exclusively to Simone Washington. It was purchased with her separate property, inheritance from her grandmother, and maintained entirely with her income. Mr. Washington has no claim to it. Both vehicles registered in Mrs. Washington's name are awarded to her. Mr. Washington may retrieve personal belongings from the residence within 48 hours, supervised by law enforcement. Full custody of the minor child, Maya Washington, is awarded to Simone Washington. Jordan Washington is 18 and may reside wherever he chooses. He has indicated he wishes to stay with his mother. Mr. Washington is ordered to pay spousal support in the amount of $800 per month for a period of 5 years. He is also ordered to repay the $4,500 he withdrew from the joint account without consent. Marcus jumped up. Your Honor, I can't afford. Then I suggest you find employment, Mr. Washington. Your wife worked for 20 years. It's time you tried it. A restraining order is granted. Mr. Washington is to stay 500 feet away from Mrs. Washington, her residence, her workplace, and her children at all times. This marriage is dissolved. Mrs. Washington, you are free to go. Bang! The gavel came down. This ain't right. Marcus was on his feet. I'm her husband. I got rights. You had a wife, Mr. Washington, past tense, and rights come with responsibilities. You fulfilled none of yours. I'll appeal. You're welcome to try, but I suggest you use that energy to find a job and a place to live. Court is adjourned. Security moved toward Marcus as he kept yelling, Simone, Simone, you can't do this to me after everything we've been through. I stood, looked at him one last time. After everything we been through? Marcus, you ain't been through nothing. I carried everything, every burden, every bill, every responsibility. You just came along for the ride. But now the ride is over. Goodbye, Marcus. I turned and walked out of that courtroom, head high, shoulders back. Behind me, I could hear him still screaming, still blaming, still refusing to accept what he'd done. But his voice got quieter and quieter as I walked away, until finally I couldn't hear him at all. The sun was shining when we stepped outside. Felt like a sign. My sister's circle surrounded me. Mama was crying. Rochelle was jumping up and down. Jasmine was doing a little praise dance right there on the courthouse steps. You did it, girl. You really did it. We did it. All of us. Mother Ernestine was there too. Showed up in her church hat and her Sunday best to support me. Child, I've been praying for this day. God is good. Yes, he is, Mother. Yes, he is. Jordan and Maya came out. Both of them wrapped their arms around me. We're so proud of you, Mom. I'm proud of y'all for being brave, for telling the truth, for choosing me. We'll always choose you, Mom. Always. Monique came out last, big smile on her face. It's official. The judge signed everything. The house is yours. The cars are yours. Your freedom is yours. Thank you, Mo. I could never afford to repay you. Girls, stop. This is what we do. We lift each other up. And now, she grinned, now we celebrate. As we was walking to our cars, I saw them. Marcus, Mother Washington, Tasha, standing on the other side of the parking lot, looking lost, looking broken. Mother Washington was crying into a tissue. Tasha was yelling at Marcus about something. Marcus just stood there, staring at nothing. Part of me, a small part, the part that spent 20 years taking care of everybody, felt a twinge of something. Not quite sympathy, maybe pity. Then I remembered. She won't know what hit her. Someone got to cook and clean, right? The pity disappeared. They did this to themselves, every single one of them. They took and took and took, and now there was nothing left. Karma ain't just a word, y'all. It's a whole lifestyle. That night, I sat in my living room. My living room. In my house. The kids was upstairs. House was quiet. Peaceful in a way it ain't been in years. I looked around at the walls I'd painted, the furniture I'd bought, the life I'd built. And for the first time in 20 years, it was actually mine. Not ours, not shared with someone who didn't appreciate it. Mine. My phone buzzed. Text from Rochelle. How you feeling, Queen? I thought about it. Really thought about it. How did I feel? Not happy exactly. Not yet. You don't end a 20-year marriage and feel happy the same day. But something else. Something I ain't felt in a long time. Free. I felt free. I typed back, I feel like my life is just getting started. And you know what? It was. You know what freedom sounds like? It sounds like silence. Not the heavy silence of walking on eggshells. Not the suffocating silence of swallowing your words because you're scared of the fight that's coming. Real freedom. The kind where you're sitting in your own space, breathing your own air, living your own life. No criticisms, no demands. No one taking and taking until you ain't got nothing left. Just peace. That's what I got when the courtroom doors closed behind Marcus Washington for the last time. Peace. And y'all, I ain't even know how much I needed it until I finally had it. This is the last part of my story, the part where everything comes together, the part where I finally learned to choose myself. Let's finish this. The first week after the court ruling was strange. I kept waiting for something to happen, for Marcus to show up, for Mother Washington to call, for some new drama to explode. But nothing came. The house was quiet. My house. Just me, Jordan, and Maya. And for the first time in 8 years, no Mother Washington shuffling around complaining about something. "Mom, it's so weird," Maya said that first night. "I can actually hear myself think." "I know, baby, I know." We ordered pizza that night, sat on the living room floor, watched movies until midnight, laughed at stupid stuff, just existed, without tension, without walking on eggshells, without waiting for somebody to ruin the moment. It was the best night I'd had in years. Now, I know y'all wondering what happened to Marcus. Oh, I got the tea. Trust me. Rochelle kept me informed. She got a cousin who worked at the apartment complex where Marcus was staying with his boy Terrence. Apparently, Marcus was sleeping on Terrence's couch, eating Terrence's food, wearing out his welcome real fast. "Girl, Terrence told his wife he'd given Marcus 2 more weeks, then he gotta go," Rochelle reported during our first Sunday brunch after the trial. "Said Marcus ain't lifted a finger since he got there, just sitting around feeling sorry for himself." "What about Chanel?" Jasmine asked. "Wasn't she supposed to be his whole future?" Rochelle started cackling. Child, you ain't heard?" "Heard what?" "Chanel dumped him the day after the court ruling." I almost choked on my mimosa. "What?" "Mm-hmm. Turns out Chanel wasn't in love with Marcus. She was in love with the lifestyle Marcus promised her. The house, the cars, the fancy life. Soon as she found out he ain't have none of that, she was gone. The woman he threw away 20 years of marriage for left him when the money dried up. I wish I could say I felt bad. I didn't. Word is she already got a new man," Rochelle continued. "Some dude with a boat. She posted pictures last week." A boat. Marcus lost his family for a woman who left him for a man with a boat. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. And Mother Washington? Well, remember how I told her she might want to call her other 4 children? Turns out them other 4 children ain't want her either. First, she called her oldest son, David Jr., in Alabama. He said his house was too small. Funny, 'cause I heard it's a 4-bedroom. Then she called her daughter Patricia in Florida. Patricia said she was traveling too much for work, even though she worked from home. Then Marcus's younger brother Keith. He ain't even answer the phone. Finally, Tasha took her in, which was real rich considering Tasha could barely take care of herself and her own kids. Last I heard, Mother Washington was sleeping in Tasha's living room on a pull-out couch in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 other people. After living in my 4-bedroom house with her own room and bathroom for 8 years, rent-free. I heard she's miserable, Jasmine said. Tasha's kids are loud, the apartment's small, she can't find her shows on Tasha's TV. That's sad, I said, and I meant it, sort of. But I also remembered every criticism, every complaint, every time she made me feel like I wasn't good enough. Every time she took her son's side when he was dead wrong. Maybe if you was a better wife, he wouldn't have to look elsewhere. That's what she said to me when I found out my husband was cheating. So yeah, the pull-out couch at Tasha's, that's called karma, baby. The second week after the trial, I started reclaiming my house. First thing I did? Painted. That living room had been beige for 20 years. Marcus liked beige, said colors were too much. I painted it deep teal, rich and bold and beautiful. Then I did the kitchen, sunny yellow, like walking into happiness every morning. Then my bedroom, soft lavender, peaceful, calm, mine. Jordan and Maya helped. We put on music, Beyonce, SZA, Jasmine Sullivan, and we painted and laughed and danced and made a mess and didn't care. "Mom, this house feels different," Jordan said, stepping back to admire the living room wall. "Different how?" "Like lighter, like it can breathe now." He was right. For 20 years, this house had held tension and resentment and exhaustion. Now it was starting to feel like a home. My home. Out back, there was a little patch of yard I'd always wanted to turn into a garden. Marcus said it was a waste of time, said we'd never use it, said I didn't know nothing about growing things anyway. So I never did it. But now, I went to Home Depot, bought soil, seeds, starter plants, tomatoes, peppers, herbs, flowers, everything I'd ever wanted to grow. Maya helped me dig. Jordan built little wooden markers for each plant. We spent a whole Saturday with dirt under our fingernails and sun on our faces. "This is nice, Mom," Maya said, patting soil around a tomato plant. "Just us, doing something together." "When's the last time we did something like this?" She thought about it. "I don't remember." Me neither. That's what Marcus took from us. Not just money, not just peace. He took our time, our ability to just be together without tension. But we was getting it back now, one tomato plant at a time. Going back to work after everything was different. Word had gotten around about the trial, about Marcus showing up at the hospital, about what he'd done. I was nervous walking in that first day, thought people might look at me different, might pity me, might whisper behind my back. Instead, Simone! Patricia, my coworker who checked my blood pressure that day, came running up and hugged me. "Girl, we heard you cleaned his clock in court." Patricia: "No, for real, I'm so proud of you. That man had it coming for years, and everybody knew it." Other nurses gathered around, hugging me, high-fiving me, telling me I looked amazing. "You lost weight. Your skin is glowing. Is that a new hairstyle?" I hadn't even realized how much the stress had been showing on the outside, but now that it was gone, apparently everybody could see the difference. Even my supervisor noticed. "Simone, you seem different, more present, more focused." "I feel different." "Good, because I've been meaning to talk to you about something. There's a charge nurse position opening up. I think you should apply." Charge nurse, a promotion, more money, more responsibility, recognition for 21 years of hard work. A month ago, I would have said I was too tired, too stressed, too overwhelmed. Now, I'll apply today. That weekend, I went to see Rochelle for something I'd been putting off for years. "You sure about this?" She had me in her chair, cape around my shoulders. "I'm sure. 'Cause once we start, ain't no going back." "Ro, I've been going back my whole life, putting off what I wanted, keeping my hair the way Marcus liked it, the way Mother Washington wouldn't criticize. I'm done with that." She smiled. "All right then, Queen, let's do this." 3 hours later, I looked in the mirror. Locks. Starter locks. Twisted and beautiful and mine. I'd wanted locks since I was in college. Marcus said they were unprofessional, said I'd never get ahead at work with hair like that. But you know what's unprofessional? A man who ain't worked in 10 years telling a woman with a 21-year career how to wear her hair. "Oh, Simone," Rochelle was getting emotional. "You look like you, the real you." She was right. For the first time in 20 years, I looked in the mirror and saw the woman I was supposed to be. Not Marcus's wife, not Mother Washington's servant, not the family ATM. Just Simone. And she was beautiful. The first Sunday back at church was nerve-wracking. I knew people would talk, knew they'd stare, knew some of them would judge me for divorcing Marcus, even after everything he did. "Do you want me to come with you?" Mama asked. "No, I need to do this myself." I put on my best dress, did my makeup, wore my grandmother's pearls, and I walked into that church with my head high. Whispers started immediately. "That's Simone Washington. I heard she took everything from him." Well, I heard he was cheating. I kept walking. Found my usual pew, middle section, 3 rows from the front, and I sat down, alone. For the first time in 20 years, I was at church without Marcus, without Mother Washington, without the whole performance of being the perfect Christian family. Just me and God. Pastor Williams started the service. I half expected him to say something about me, about divorce, about submission and forgiveness and all that. But before he could get into his sermon, someone sat down next to me, Mother Ernestine. She didn't say nothing at first, just took my hand and held it. Then she leaned over and whispered, "You did good, baby. Don't let nobody tell you different. Some people are saying, some people ain't got the sense God gave a goat. You did what you had to do to survive. Ain't nothing unchristian about that." She squeezed my hand. "Your grandmother would be proud. I know I am." I cried through half the service, but for the first time there was tears of relief. 1 year. That's how long it's been since Marcus gave me 3 days to leave. 365 days since my life fell apart and came back together stronger than before. And y'all, everything is different now. Let me tell you about my life now. My health, completely transformed. Blood pressure back to normal. Off all but one medication. Lost 30 pounds. Not because I was trying, but because the stress weight just melted away when the stress did. My career? I got that charge nurse promotion. With a raise. I'm finally getting recognized for 21 years of showing up, working hard, and taking care of everybody. My house? Baby, you wouldn't recognize it. Every room painted the colors I love. Furniture I picked out. Art on the walls that speaks to my soul. And the garden? You should see my tomatoes. Big as my fist. Sweetest things you ever tasted. Oh, and I got a dog. A rescue. Little mixed breed with floppy ears and the sweetest eyes. Found him at the shelter, skinny and scared and looking like he'd been through hell. I named him Freedom, 'cause that's what we both found. Me and that little dog. Freedom to be ourselves, to heal, to start over. He sleeps at the foot of my bed every night, and every morning he wakes me up with kisses and a wagging tail. That's more affection than Marcus showed me in the last 10 years of our marriage. Jordan started college last fall. Full scholarship, academic and athletic. Basketball. I cried the day we dropped him off. Happy tears, proud tears. My baby boy going off to build his future. "You did this, Mom," he said, hugging me goodbye. "Everything I am, everything I'm going to be, it's because of you. It's because of you, baby. Your hard work, your dedication. But you showed me what that looks like. You showed me what it means to keep going even when everything's falling apart." He calls me every Sunday, tells me about his classes, his teammates, his life. We talk for hours sometimes. That's more than Marcus ever talked to me. And Maya, my baby girl, is thriving. Honor roll, student council, varsity volleyball. And she got accepted into a pre-med summer program for high schoolers. "I want to be like you, Mom," she told me. "I want to help people." You already do, baby, every day. She's learning what I wish I'd known at her age, that she matters, that her dreams matter, that she don't have to shrink herself for anybody. She's going to change the world. I know it. We do brunch now, every first Sunday of the month. Me, Rochelle, Jasmine, Monique, my sister circle. We rotate locations, sometimes Rochelle's salon, sometimes my house, sometimes that little brunch spot downtown with the bottomless mimosas. We laugh, we cry, we share our lives. And we added a new member, Patricia, from my job. She was going through her own divorce last year. Husband wasn't cheating, they just grew apart, but she needed sisters around her. So we pulled her in. That's what we do. We see women struggling, and we pull them close. "Y'all saved my life," I told them at our last brunch. "I don't know where I'd be without y'all." "Girl, stop," Rochelle waved her hand. "You saved yourself. We just had your back while you did it." "That's what sisters do," Jasmine added. "We hold each other up until we're strong enough to stand on our own. And then we keep holding anyway," Monique finished, "'cause that's what love is." My sister circle. My chosen family, worth more than gold. Now, I know y'all wondering about Marcus. Last I heard, he's living in a studio apartment on the south side, working at a call center, making $15 an hour. After years of, I'm a businessman and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm building my empire, he's answering phones for a living. He tried to appeal the divorce ruling. Lost. Tried to get the spousal support reduced. Lost. Tried to get visitation with Maya. She refused to see him. Judge said at 16, she's old enough to decide for herself. He's paying that $800 a month, when he can, which ain't always. But you know what? I don't even care about the money. I got my own money, always have. What I care about is that my children see the truth, that they know their father's choices, not my bitterness, is why he's not in their lives. Jordan won't talk to him at all, said he's got nothing to say to a man who treated his mother like that. Maya sent him one text about 6 months ago. It said, I hope you find peace, Dad, but don't contact me until you can admit what you did and apologize, not just to Mom, to all of us. He never responded. Some people ain't capable of growth, of change, of admitting they was wrong. Marcus might be one of them, and that's not my burden to carry no more. Mother Washington's still at Tasha's house, still miserable from what I hear. She tried to call me once, about 4 months after the trial. I let it go to voicemail. Simone, this is Dolores. I've been thinking. Maybe I was too hard on you. Maybe I should have. She never finished the sentence. Never actually apologized. Just, maybe I should have. I didn't call back. See, I realized something this year. Forgiveness ain't about them. It's about me. About releasing the poison so it don't eat me alive. I forgive Mother Washington. I really do. But forgiveness don't mean access. Don't mean I gotta let her back in my life. Don't mean I gotta pretend like 20 years of mistreatment didn't happen. I wish her well. From a distance. A very, very far distance. Now, there's one more thing I gotta tell y'all about. Remember Mother Ernestine, the church elder who held my hand that first Sunday? About 3 months after the divorce was final, she pulled me aside after service. Simone, baby, you doing all right? I'm doing better, Mother. Much better. Good. Good. She paused, had that look in her eye, the one old church ladies get when they matchmaking. You know, I got a nephew, David. Good man, retired military. Lost his wife to cancer about 5 years ago. He been asking about you. Mother Ernestine, I'm not saying marry him tomorrow. I'm saying coffee. 1 cup. See what happens. I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure I was ready. Wasn't sure I ever wanted to be with anyone again. But I also knew I couldn't let Marcus ruin love for me forever. So I said yes, to coffee. David showed up looking nervous in a nice button-down shirt. Kind eyes, gray at the temples, solid, calm. We talked for 3 hours. He told me about his wife, about losing her, about learning to live again. I told him about Marcus, about the divorce, about everything. And at the end, he said something I'll never forget. Simone, I'm not looking for someone to take care of me. I can take care of myself. I'm looking for a partner, someone to walk beside, someone to share life with. I almost cried right there in the coffee shop. That's all I ever wanted, I said. That's all I ever wanted and never got. Well, he smiled, maybe it's time you got it. David and I have been seeing each other for about 8 months now. Slow, intentional, on my terms. He's met my kids. They like him. Jordan said, he actually listens when you talk, Mom, like he cares what you're saying. What a concept, right? A man who listens. He's met my mama. She approves. Said, this one got some sense. Don't mess it up. Thanks, Mama. We're not rushing nothing. Not moving in together. Not planning a wedding. Just being. Getting to know each other. Building something real. And if it don't work out, that's okay too. 'Cause I learned the most important thing this year. I don't need a man to be happy. I don't need a relationship to be complete. I'm whole on my own. David is a bonus, a gift, but he ain't my foundation. I'm my foundation now, and that ain't never gonna change. I'm sitting on my porch right now. It's evening, sun going down, freedom curled up at my feet, glass of wine in my hand. My garden is blooming. My house is peaceful. My kids are thriving. My health is restored. And I'm thinking about that woman from a year ago. The one who was so tired she could barely stand. The one whose blood pressure was through the roof. The one who thought she had no options. I wish I could go back and tell her what I know now. I wish I could tell her that the weight she's carrying ain't hers to carry, that the people she's killing herself for don't deserve her sacrifice, that she's worth more than what she gives, that her value ain't measured in how much she does for everyone else, that one day soon, she's going to be free, and freedom is going to feel better than anything she's ever experienced. I wish I could tell her all that, but I think somewhere deep inside, she already knew. She just needed permission to believe it. So let me tell you something. If you're listening to this story, if you made it all the way to the end, I'm talking to you now. Maybe you saw yourself in me, in my exhaustion, in my sacrifice, in my giving and giving until there's nothing left. Maybe you got a Marcus in your life, someone who takes and never gives back. Maybe you got a Mother Washington, someone who criticizes everything you do while contributing nothing. Maybe you got a Tasha, someone who always got their hand out but never got nothing to offer in return. Maybe you're tired, sis. Bone tired, soul tired, the kind of tired sleep don't fix. I see you. I was you. And I'm here to tell you something important. You don't have to live like this. You have options. You have power. You have worth beyond what you provide for everyone else. You are not a mule, not an ATM, not a servant. You are a whole person with dreams, with needs, with a life that deserves to be lived, not just survived. Here's what I learned this year. The lessons I want to leave with you. Lesson 1, keep receipts. I don't just mean financial receipts, though yes, keep those too. I mean pay attention. Document your contributions. Know your worth in concrete terms so nobody can gaslight you into thinking you ain't done nothing. Lesson 2, your sister circle is everything. Find your people. The ones who will show up at 7 a.m. when you need them. The ones who will tell you the truth even when it hurts. The ones who will hold you up when you can't stand on your own. Find them. Keep them. Treasure them. Lesson 3. Strong don't mean silent. We've been taught that strong Black women don't complain, don't ask for help, don't show weakness. That's a lie. The strongest thing I ever did was admit I couldn't keep going, was ask for help, was let my girls carry me when I couldn't carry myself. Lesson 4. You teach people how to treat you. For 20 years, I taught Marcus that it was okay to take from me, that there would be no consequences, that I would always give more. I taught Mother Washington that she could criticize me and I'd still serve her. I taught Tasha she could use me and I'd still come back. They treated me the way I allowed them to treat me. The minute I changed the rules, everything changed. Lesson 5. It's never too late. I was 43 years old when I finally woke up, 20 years into a marriage that was draining me. You might think that's too late, too much time wasted. But you know what? I got 40 more years ahead of me, God willing. That's 40 years of freedom, 40 years of peace, 40 years of living for me. It's never too late to start over. Lesson 6. Recognize financial abuse. Y'all, financial abuse is real abuse. It don't leave bruises, don't leave scars you can see, but it's just as damaging, maybe more, because it traps you, makes you feel like you got no options, no way out. If someone controls the money but don't contribute to it, that's a red flag. If there's financial secrecy, secret credit cards, hidden accounts, money disappearing with no explanation, something's wrong. If someone's using money as punishment, that ain't partnership. That's control. Pay attention. This is not normal. This is not okay. And you deserve better. Lesson 7. Protect your financial future. Keep your name on important documents. My grandmother insisted the house deed be in my name only. That one decision saved everything. Maintain your own credit. Have a separate savings account, even if it's just $20 a week. That's your emergency escape fund if you ever need it. And keep records of everything. 20 years of receipts won my case. Lesson 8. Know your legal rights. I ain't a lawyer, and every state, every situation is different. But know this, inheritance can be separate property. The name on the deed matters. Document everything. Restraining orders exist for a reason, and you can get help even if you can't afford a lawyer. Legal aid societies, pro bono attorneys, women's advocacy groups. Help exists. You just got to reach out. Lesson 9. Protect your health. Stress can kill you. I'm not being dramatic. My blood pressure was 160/95. I was pre-diabetic, having chest pains. The stress of carrying everyone was literally destroying my body. Your body talks to you. Are you listening? Constant exhaustion, unexplained weight changes, headaches, getting sick more often, anxiety, depression. These are signs. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. Sometimes the most important thing you can do for your health is leave. Lesson 10. Break the generational cycle. If I had stayed, what would my daughter have learned? She would have learned that women exist to serve, that your value is measured by what you give, that men take and women sacrifice. But now, Maya sees something different. She sees a mother who stood up for herself, who chose her own peace. What you do today affects your children and their children. You can break the cycle, not just for you, for generations. Lesson 11. Faith and self-preservation ain't opposites. I know some of y'all coming from faith backgrounds like me. Maybe you've been told that good Christian women don't get divorced, that you should pray harder, submit more. But God didn't call you to be nobody's slave. Jesus ain't asked you to sacrifice your health, your sanity, your life for someone who treats you like nothing. Sometimes the answer to your prayer ain't wait, it's move. Lesson 12. You are not alone. If you're in a situation like mine, or worse, help exists. National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. They help with all forms of abuse, including financial and emotional. Search for legal aid in your city or state. Many organizations offer free legal help. Therapy and counseling are more accessible than ever. You don't have to do this by yourself. Reach out. Marcus gave me 3 days to leave, 3 days to give up everything I'd built. And in those 3 days, I found something I'd lost for 20 years. Myself. He meant it as a death sentence. It became a resurrection. He thought he was ending me. He was setting me free. So if you're in your own 3 days moment right now, if someone is trying to take from you, diminish you, push you out of your own life, let me tell you what I wish someone had told me. You are enough. Not because of what you do for others, not because of what you provide, not because of how much you sacrifice. You are enough just because you exist, because you're here, because you matter. Your needs are valid. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to put yourself first, sometimes, or even most times. You deserve love that doesn't cost you your peace. Real love don't drain you, don't exhaust you, don't make you feel like you're never enough. Real love fills you up, supports you, wants to see you thrive. And you got the power to change your story, right now, today, this very moment. You don't have to wait for permission. Don't have to wait until things get bad enough. Don't have to wait for someone else to save you. You can save yourself. I did. And if I can do it, after 20 years, after everything, you can too. I'm still sitting on my porch. Sun's almost down now. Freedom's asleep. The wine glass is empty. And I'm happy. Not the fake happy I performed for 20 years. Not the I'm fine happy I told everyone at church. Real happy. Deep happy. The kind that starts in your soul and radiates outward. Marcus thought he was giving me 3 days to lose everything. Instead, he gave me the rest of my life. And I'm gonna live it, y'all. Fully, freely, unapologetically. For me. Finally. 1 year later, Simone rebuilt her credit score to 780. She took her first vacation in 10 years, a week in Paris with her sister circle. They drank wine, saw the Eiffel Tower, and laughed until they cried. Jordan graduated his freshman year with a 3.8 GPA. He made the dean's list. Maya was accepted into an early college program. She'll graduate high school with an associate's degree. Marcus lives in a studio apartment. He works at a call center. Chanel left him for a man with a boat. Mother Washington still lives on Tasha's pull-out couch. She doesn't speak to Simone anymore. Simone is okay with that. David asked Simone to be his girlfriend last month. She said yes. They're taking it slow. Freedom the dog gained 5 pounds and is living his best life. And Simone? Simone finally chose herself. She's never been happier. If this story meant something to you, if you saw yourself in any part of it, I want you to do something for me. Put your hand on your heart right now. Feel it beating? That's your life. Your precious, valuable, irreplaceable life. It don't belong to your husband, your mama, your kids, your job, your church. It belongs to you, and you only get one. So please, please, stop giving it away to people who don't deserve it. Stop sacrificing your health for people who wouldn't sacrifice nothing for you. Stop being the strong one all the time. Let someone hold you for once. And if no one's ever told you this, let me be the first. You deserve rest. You deserve peace. You deserve joy. You deserve a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. You deserve to be chosen. By others, yes, but most importantly, by yourself. Choose you, sis. Finally, completely, unapologetically. Choose you. Before I let y'all go, I want to share something important. This story, my story, it ain't just entertainment. There's real lessons here. Things I wish somebody had taught me 20 years ago. Things that could have saved me a whole lot of pain. So let's break it down. If you got a pen and paper, grab it. If not, save this video. Come back to it. Because what I'm about to share might just change your life. Y'all, let me tell you something that took me way too long to learn. Financial abuse is real abuse. It don't leave bruises, don't leave scars you can see, but it's just as damaging, maybe more, because it traps you, makes you feel like you got no options, no way out. Here's the signs. Listen carefully. Sign number 1, control without contribution. If someone controls the money but don't contribute to it, that's a red flag. In my case, Marcus controlled our joint account, made all the financial decisions, but I was the only one putting money in. Sign number 2, financial secrecy. Secret credit cards, hidden accounts, money disappearing with no explanation. If your partner can't be transparent about finances, something's wrong. Sign number 3, sabotaging your work. Some abusers will try to get you to quit your job, make you dependent on them. They might say it's about family or taking care of the home, but really, it's about control. Sign number 4, using money as punishment. Withholding funds when you misbehave, controlling what you can buy, making you ask permission for every purchase. That ain't partnership, that's control. Sign number 5, taking credit for your contributions. Marcus walked around church like he was providing for the family, like he was the successful one, while I was working double shifts and paying every bill. If any of this sounds familiar, please pay attention. This is not normal. This is not okay. And you deserve better. Now let me give you some practical advice. Things I did right that saved me. And things I wish I'd done differently. What I did right. Keep your name on important documents. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she insisted the house deed be in my name only. That one decision saved everything. If your inheritance, your savings, your assets are involved, keep your name on them. Maintain your own credit. I had credit cards in my name, a credit score in my name. When everything fell apart, I had a financial identity separate from Marcus. That matters. Keep records of everything. My mama kept copies of every tax return, every bank statement, every important document. 20 years of records. That paper trail won my case. What I wish I'd done. Have a separate freedom fund, an account your partner don't know about, even if it's just $20 a week. Over time, that adds up. That's your emergency escape fund if you ever need it. Get a financial advisor before you need one. I didn't understand marital property laws until Monique explained them to me. Know your rights before you're in crisis. Trust your instincts earlier. I knew something was wrong for years. I just didn't want to face it. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't wait until you're drowning to start swimming. Now, I ain't a lawyer, and every state, every situation is different. So please, if you're going through something like this, get professional legal advice. But here's some general things every woman should know. Inheritance can be separate property. In many states, money you inherit is yours, even in a marriage. But how you handle it matters. If you put it in a joint account, it might become marital property. Know the laws in your state. The name on the deed matters. Whose name is on the house, the car, the accounts? These things determine legal ownership. Don't assume marriage means everything is shared. It's more complicated than that. Document everything. If you ever need to go to court, evidence is everything. Bank statements, texts, emails, videos. Keep records. Store them somewhere safe, like a family member's house or a secure cloud account. Restraining orders exist for a reason. Financial abuse, emotional abuse, intimidation. These are grounds for protection orders in many places. You don't have to be physically hit to deserve protection. You can get help even if you can't afford a lawyer. Legal aid societies, pro bono attorneys, women's advocacy groups. Help exists. You just got to reach out. I would not have survived this without my sister circle. Rochelle, Jasmine, Monique, my mama, Mother Ernestine. These women held me up when I couldn't stand, fed me when I forgot to eat, reminded me who I was when I forgot myself. You need your people. And I'm not talking about 100 friends. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 people who will show up at 7 a.m. when your life is falling apart. Quality over quantity. How to build your circle. Be that friend first. You want loyal friends? Be loyal. You want supportive friends? Be supportive. You attract what you give. Look for women who have been through it. Monique became my lawyer because she'd survived her own divorce. She understood. Find people who've walked the path you're on. Let people in. I spent years pretending everything was fine, hiding my struggles. If I'd opened up sooner, maybe I would have gotten help sooner. Vulnerability ain't weakness. It's the door that lets help come in. Distance yourself from toxic friends. Not everyone who smiles in your face is for you. Some people just want gossip, want to see you struggle. You'll know the difference by who shows up when you need them. Let me tell you something that might save your life. Stress can kill you. I'm not being dramatic. My blood pressure was 160/95. I was pre-diabetic, having chest pains. Thought I was having a heart attack in my own bedroom. The stress of carrying everyone was literally destroying my body. Signs your body is telling you something's wrong. Constant exhaustion that sleep don't fix. Weight gain or loss you can't explain. Headaches, chest pains, racing heart, hair falling out. Getting sick more often. Anxiety, depression, feeling hopeless. Your body talks to you. Are you listening? What helped me heal? Removing the source of stress. The biggest change came when Marcus was out of my life. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. Saying no. I stopped being everyone's everything, started setting boundaries. Let some people be disappointed. My health was more important than their expectations. Moving my body. After the divorce, I started walking. Just around the block at first, then longer. Movement helped clear my head and strengthen my body. Eating to nourish, not to cope. I used to stress eat, late-night snacks after brutal shifts. Now I eat intentionally, foods that give me energy instead of drain it. Therapy. Yes, I said it, therapy. There's no shame in talking to a professional. Getting 20 years of trauma out of my head and into the open. Best decision I ever made. Here's something I think about a lot. If I had stayed, what would my daughter have learned? She would have learned that women exist to serve, that your value is measured by what you give, that men take and women sacrifice, that this is just how it is, and one day she might have ended up in her own Marcus situation, repeating the cycle. But now, Maya sees something different. She sees a mother who stood up for herself, who chose her own peace, who showed her that women deserve partnership, not servitude. That's the legacy I'm leaving her. What legacy are you leaving your children? They're watching, learning, internalizing. If you accept disrespect, they learn that disrespect is acceptable. If you sacrifice your health for others, they learn that self-care is selfish. If you stay silent about abuse, they learn that abuse should be hidden. But if you stand up, if you demand better, if you show them what self-respect looks like, you break the cycle. Not just for you, for generations. Your granddaughters, your great-granddaughters. Women you'll never meet will be free because of what you do today. Think about that. Now, I know some of y'all coming from faith backgrounds like me, and maybe you've been told that good Christian women don't get divorced, that you should pray harder, submit more, forgive and forget. I got something to say about that. God didn't call you to be nobody's slave. That's what Mother Ernestine told me, and she was right. Yes, the Bible talks about marriage, about commitment, about working through hard times, but it also talks about discernment, about wisdom, about protecting yourself from those who would harm you. Jesus ain't asked you to sacrifice your health, your sanity, your life for someone who treats you like nothing. Submission goes both ways. Husbands are called to love their wives like Christ loved the church, to sacrifice for them, to honor them. If your husband ain't doing that, he broke the covenant first. Prayer is powerful, but so is action. I prayed for 20 years, asked God to change Marcus, to fix my marriage, to give me strength to endure. You know what God finally did? He gave me the strength to leave. Sometimes the answer to your prayer ain't wait, it's move. If you're in a situation like mine, or worse, I want you to know help exists. Here are some resources. National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. Available 24/7. Confidential. They help with all forms of abuse, including financial and emotional. National Alliance on Mental Health, also known as NAMI, 1-800-950-6264. If you're struggling mentally, feeling hopeless, need someone to talk to. Legal Aid. Search Legal Aid plus your city or state. Many organizations offer free legal help for women going through divorce or abuse situations. Therapy and counseling. Many therapists offer sliding scale fees. Community mental health centers offer low-cost services. Online therapy has made it more accessible than ever. Women's shelters and advocacy groups. If you need to leave and have nowhere to go, these organizations can help with temporary housing, job resources, and more. You are not alone. Help is available. You just got to reach for it. So let's recap what we learned today. Financial abuse is real abuse, and there's signs to recognize it. Protect your finances. Keep your name on documents. Maintain your own credit. Save records. Know your legal rights. Get professional advice. Document everything. Build your support system. You can't do this alone, and you don't have to. Protect your health. Your body is telling you something. Listen to it. Break the generational cycle. What you do today affects your children and their children. Faith and self-preservation aren't opposites. God wants you to live, not just survive. You are not alone. Resources exist. Help is available. This ain't just a story, y'all. This is a lesson. A lesson about recognizing your worth, protecting yourself, standing up when the world tells you to sit down. I hope you take something from this. Not just entertainment, though I hope you enjoyed the story, but real, practical wisdom you can apply to your life. 'Cause that's the point. That's why I shared my pain, my struggle, my triumph. So somebody out there can learn from it. So somebody out there can avoid 20 years of suffering. So somebody out there can choose themselves sooner than I did. Let that somebody be you. If this video helped you, if you learned something, do me a favor. Like this video so the algorithm shows it to other women who need to hear this. Subscribe so you don't miss more stories with real-life lessons. Share this video with a friend, a sister, a cousin, someone who might be going through something similar. And comment below. What lesson hit you the hardest? What are you taking away from Simone's story? Your comment might be exactly what another woman needs to read today. We lift each other up. That's how we heal. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing to grow. Now go out there and choose you.